Hello. I thought we would do a practice today to help us connect to the earth. Be an all levels practice. No particular props are required. You might want to use the wall for one posture later in the sequence, but that's about it. And we're actually going to start down on our backs in our Shavasana posture. So traditionally that has us laying flat on our back with legs extended long down the mat, the arms out away from the body. But this doesn't work for all bodies, so feel free to shift and adjust. You might even want to bend your knees and place the feet flat on the floor if there's tension in your lower back. Let yourself settle in here. We'll even take a deep breath in through the nose. Hold your breath in. And as you sigh your breath out, let your body soften into the support of the earth. So one more time, a deep inhale, breath retention, sighing the breath out, soften into the earth. Notice where your feet or your heels are touching the ground. Notice any parts of the back of your legs that are touching the earth. The buttocks. Notice areas of your back that are touching the earth. Noticing anywhere down the length of your arms that are in contact with the earth. The sides of the hands or the fingers that are touching the earth. Noticing where your head, the back of your head, is touching the earth. Allow all these earth-connected parts of your body to soften a little more, to sink into the support of the earth beneath us. Feeling your physical connection to your earth. Let your attention come to the center of your chest and begin to make connection to your own heart space. You might even notice your own heartbeat. So pause your attention here in your heart space. If you would like to set an intention or an affirmation for this practice, I invite you to do so now. An intention might center around an injury you're working with and how you can best honor that injury. Perhaps you'd like to practice staying connected to breath. In keeping with the overall theme of the class, perhaps you'd like to focus on the connection with the earth as we move through the practice. Any intention you'd like, stating it to yourself a couple of times. We keep it in our heart space for safekeeping. And here begin to notice your natural breath. Just the coming and going of the breath. You don't even need to do anything, and the breath will come and the breath will go. going to begin to move into pranayama practice, into breath control practice. It's a bit of if it is available, let breath come and go through your nostrils. And at the end of your next exhale, let your belly button gently tug down towards your spine, towards the earth. As you inhale, let the belly rise up into the sky. Exhaling, belly contracts gently towards the earth. The inhale, belly rises towards the sky. Exhaling, belly sinks towards the earth. Practicing a slow, deep belly breath. And even notice yourself resting in this space between earth and sky as your belly rises to meet the sky and belly sinks to meet the earth. Try to stay connected to this deep belly breath throughout the practice. It's okay if you forget. You remember, come back to breath. Connecting to our breath, by connecting to the earth, it helps us to stay present, to be here now, in this moment. When your next inhale begins, let your fingers, your toes find a little wiggle. You let the head rock a little side to side. We'll pause that wiggling motion, and this time as you inhale, start to reach your arms overhead towards the wall behind your head. Slide your feet closer together and reach the feet towards the opposite wall. Full body stretch. When you exhale, let the body soften. Inhale is full body stretch. Exhale to soften. We'll inhale, full body stretch. This time as you exhale, draw one or both knees all the way into your chest. Take a little rock side to side. We'll inhale, full body stretch. And exhale, hug the knees in towards the chest. This time perhaps taking your knees around in a circle in one direction. And circling in the other direction. Let your feet land back on the earth. Let your arms open out to the side into an airplane position, into a T position, palms facing up. The feet will be about hips distance apart. And just very gently as you exhale, let your knees sway to one side. When you inhale, draw the knees up through center. Exhale, sway to the second side. Very slow, mindful movement connected to your breath. The exhale, the knees drop to the side. The inhale, the knees come up through center. This next couple rounds of breath, notice the different parts of your feet that make contact with the earth as you move in and out of this gentle twist. We're dropping to each side just one more time. You come back up to center. This time as you breathe out, let each knee drop over to its own side. Right knee drops to right side, left knee drops to left side, and soles of the feet can touch. If this is too intense, feel free to engage your legs a little bit more and draw the knees a little closer to the sky. Slow, mindful breath in, mindful breath out. Gentle force of gravity might be tugging your legs a little closer to the earth. One more round of breath here. It's an inhale that will bring one knee and then the second knee back up to center, and eventually drawing both knees back in towards the chest, taking that little sway side to side. Feet will land back on the earth, hips distance apart. The ankles, the heels are give or take stacked underneath the knees. The hands and arms come to rest alongside the body with palms facing down. Your hands will be alongside your hips and your buttocks. If you happen to have a pillow underneath your head, gently remove that pillow. And we'll draw our attention to our tailbone. As you breathe in, start to reach your tailbone towards your heels. You'll feel your lower back lengthen. The arch in your lower back will have made contact with the earth. When we exhale, we release that stretch and maybe even exaggerate that arching in the lower back. Inhale, reach tailbone towards heels. Exhale, soften. Inhale, gently reaching the tailbone, and exhale to soften. Next time your tailbone is reaching towards the heels, maintain that alignment in the pelvis. It's important to maintain that alignment as we move in and out of our next posture. The feet are lightly pressing into the earth. Thighs are squeezing slightly together. The arms, the hands are pressing into the earth. Tailbone is still reaching towards the heels. The jaw and the eyes are soft. And as we breathe in, we're going to lift our hips up into the sky. When we exhale, we slowly lower our back, our hips to the earth. And then release the reaching of the tailbone. Inhale, reach the tailbone towards the heels, and then slowly, one vertebrae at a time, peel your back off the yoga mat. When you exhale, one vertebrae at a time, we slowly come back down. Eventually releasing the tailbone. Let's go 2 more times. Inhale, tailbone reaches before you lift yourself off the ground. The tailbone still is reaching as you lower yourself back down. Once the buttocks has landed, then we can release the tailbone. One more time. We'll pause in neutral for a round of breath in, a round of breath out. The next time an exhale comes, we redraw the knees in towards the chest, another little sway side to side. From here, we'll move into a happy baby pose. We turn the soles of the feet, the bottom of the feet up towards the sky. We let the knees separate away from each other, almost as if the knees are going to try to land on the floor beside the outer edge of your shoulders. Your hands might rest on the backs of your thighs, maybe on your shins, maybe somewhere on your feet or on your toes. Knees are wide apart. Sometimes feels nice to tug down on one leg or one foot, and then the other, we're rocking side to side. And the earth swaying against the earth. Slow, mindful breath, both in and out. And gently release the hands from the feet and the legs and send your legs all the way up to the sky. We'll point the toes to the sky and then we'll flex our feet. Point the toes and flex. Point and flex. And let's spread the toes wide, scrunch them up. Spread and scrunch. Spread and scrunch. You can keep your legs up in the sky or bend your knees and let the feet land on the earth. We're going to send the arms up in the sky now. We'll spread our fingers wide and scrunch them up. Spread and scrunch. Spread and scrunch. Spread and scrunch. If the feet have been back on the earth, lift your feet back up in the sky again, so we're in the dead bug pose. Let your feet and your legs wiggle. Let your arms and your hands wiggle. Shoulders and hips wiggle. Maybe even the head and the torso wiggle. Deep breath in. Sigh it out. Squirm it out. And eventually hug your knees in towards the chest. You might wish to stay here. You might wish to draw your forehead up towards your knees. Eventually we let feet land back on the earth. The head lands back on the earth. We'll inhale, full body stretch. Reach, reach, reach. Exhale, sigh it out. Let yourself soften wherever you are. Feeling your connection to the earth. Any parts of the body connected to the earth. And begin to notice any parts of the body not connected to the earth, but connected with the air, connected with the sky all around you. Very mindfully, let's roll ourselves over onto one side. We'll pause in the fetal position. Your bottom arm might create a pillow for your head. Your knees might stack on top of each other or be staggered. Reconnecting to that slow, deep belly breath. Reminding yourself of your intention for the practice. Very slowly, let's press ourselves up to a seated posture. It might be a cross-legged position, a bent leg position, or maybe your legs are straight out in front of you. Wherever you've landed, the tailbone reach that we just did in bridge pose, think about doing that again, except now the tailbone is reaching down into the earth. Perhaps imagining roots growing out of the bottom of your tailbone, anchoring you into the earth. And with your tailbone rooted down into the earth, let a breath in, lift your heart center, lift the top of your head into the sky. Shoulders, arms, jaw, eyes, all soften. Inhale, the belly gently expands. The exhale, belly gently contracts. From here, as you breathe in, sweep your arms out to each side, up into the sky overhead. The exhale begins when the palms touch, and those touching palms come down the midline, passing through heart center space. Breathing in, the arms float out to the side, up into the sky. Exhaling, hands through center line. Inhale, reach out, reach up. Exhale through center line. Couple more rounds of sun breath in this direction. If you like to visualize, you might even imagine yourself gathering up some sunshine and drawing it down through the top of your head, all the way down to that heart center, all the way down to the root, your tailbone. One more time this direction. And the hands next arrive at the heart center. We let the exhale finish. And then we change direction of motion. Inhale sends touching palms up center line. The exhale, hands separate and move back and down. Inhale, palms come together and move up through the center line. Exhale, out to the side, back, down. Slow, mindful movements here, coordinated with the rhythm and the pacing of your breath. One more time, all the way around. Let's meet at the top of an inhale, arms up overhead, let the hands separate. Keep the length in your spine, and as you exhale, sway to one side. We'll inhale through center, exhale, sway to the second side. Moving in and out of a gentle side stretch. Each exhale, a side stretch. Inhale, coming up through neutral. You might wish to keep both arms up alongside the ear, or maybe that arm closest to the earth comes down so that hand gives a little high five, a gentle caress to the earth. Swing side to side like a little daffodil swaying in the spring breeze. Let's go to each side once more. And all the way back to neutral. A couple shoulder shrugs here. Shoulders come up to the ears as we breathe in. Exhale, let them drop. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, drop. One more. Let's change our position again. Coming on to hands and knees, our tabletop position. If this doesn't work for you, feel free to stay in your seated position. You can do the same motion from there. Our tabletop position has our knees underneath our hips. Our wrists are underneath our shoulders with our fingers spread wide. Index fingers are parallel to each other and pointing forward. The gaze is down between the hands, and here as we breathe in, we lift our tail, we let our belly drop, heart tugs forward, chin turns up. Exhale, tuck your tail around your spine, chin to chest. Inhale, arching, and your exhale, go around your back. See if you can really slow this motion down so it happens one vertebrae at a time. Starting down at the tailbone, working up through the low back, mid back, upper back, and finally into the neck. Feel your hands, your shins pressing into the earth. Feel the earth supporting you. We're going to add one more posture to this cat and cow flow. We'll add a child's pose. The next time your spine is rounded, you're going to start to sink your hips towards your heels so you come into that child's pose. As you breathe in, your face is going to be close towards the earth. Start to draw your head forward until you're between your hands or just in front. Press into the hands, tabletop, rounding the back, child's pose. Your inhale is tugging yourself forward. Exhale, pressing into the hands, rounding the back and sinking hips to heels. Inhale, we draw ourselves forward, face close towards the earth, and exhale, pressing into the hands, rounding the spine and sinking hips to heels. Let's go all the way around 2 more times. And this next time you find yourself in child's pose, pause there. We'll stay a couple cycles of breath, so feel free to make any adjustments, taking the knees wider apart, the knees closer together. Hands can create a pillow for the forehead, or maybe arms even come alongside the body. Wherever you've landed, reconnect to your breath. And as you are resting here, breathing here in child's pose, let your attention come to your back body, the space between your shoulder blades. And notice breath moving in and out of this space, the back of your heart center. You might feel your back expand with the inhale and gentle contraction with the exhale. You're fully supported by your breath. Also feel the support of the earth. The support of the earth is always there. And perhaps that's why we lose sight of that. We forget that sometimes. Aware of the earth gently holding you. Let's stay 2 more rounds of breath here. If your arms have been alongside the body, start to bring the hands back out in front. You're going to slowly rise up. So we're on our shins. We're going to move in and out of 2 postures here. We're going to hug ourselves, drop down into a little ball. As you inhale, we're going to burst open, maybe even rise up on your shins. Open your arms wide. Heart turns up to the sky. Face turns up towards the sky. Exhaling, we hug the opposite way. So as you inhale, you're bursting yourself open. And as you exhale, drop back into that little seed. Inhale, burst open into whatever type of flower or bush or shrub you want to be. Inhale, bursting open. Exhale, dropping into your little seed. Couple more times here, bursting open into the sunshine, tucking yourself back into the earth. Opening to greet the sun, connecting back into the earth. Last one. From here, let the arms drop, give them a little shake. We're going to let our hands drop back down to the earth. Tuck your toes under, and as you breathe out, lift your hips up and send them back. We'll be in a downward facing dog position. One of the tendencies here is that The torso likes to shift forward almost towards the top of a push-up. But see if you can shift your hips up and back, hinging a little bit more at the hips. It's as if the chest is trying to land on the thighs. A couple of times here, let one knee bend deeply. Then flipping so the other leg can bend deeply, the opposite leg straightens. Slow, mindful breath in. Slow, mindful breath out. You gaze forward between our hands and start to walk your feet towards your hands. Be in a standing forward fold. If you tend to get dizzy or lightheaded or have some issues with your blood pressure, please keep your head above your heart. So you might bring your hands up towards your thighs. We're going to inhale, lift our torso halfway up to make a jackknife of the body. The eye gaze is down, the tail and the crown are reaching away from each other. As we exhale, we hinge to our level of a forward fold. Inhale, jackknife, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. One more. Chin comes in towards the chest, the knees soften. As you breathe in, press into the feet, the arms are starting to sweep out towards the side as we slowly start to rise up to standing. Chin is still at the chest, arms reach all the way up overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down towards the heart center, and then an inhale brings the chin up last. Exhale, release the arms alongside the body. Feet are about hips distance apart. Finding a mountain pose here. Check in with your weight distribution on your feet. Check in to see if your weight is shifted towards your toes or towards your heels, the outside edges or the inside edges of the feet. Just playing around, swaying around between those four sides. Try to find your center. Not too far forward, not too far back. That Goldilocks spot right in the middle. When you've landed there, let your feet press down a little more firmly. As you press your feet down, you'll feel your legs engage a little bit more. Try to avoid locking the knees. A little micro bend in the knees. Let your tailbone reach towards the earth, the lower back lengthens, the belly muscles, the core muscles engage. Lift your heart. Let your shoulders draw up to your ears as you breathe out. Release your shoulders back and down. Draw the ears back so they land over top of the shoulders. And we'll lift up through the crown of the head. Finding your mountain pose. Connected deeply into the earth, growing up into the sky. Inhale, belly expands. The exhale, belly contracts. Let's find one dynamic side stretch while we're here. We'll inhale the arms out to the side, up into the sky. And as you breathe out, sway to one side. Inhale up through center and sway to the second side. Now that we're standing, perhaps you imagine yourself to be a tree swaying side to side in the spring breeze. Again, both arms might stay alongside the ears or one arm might drop down towards the earth. one more time to each side. We'll meet together again in neutral in our mountain pose. The next posture we're moving into, this might be the posture where you'd like to have a wall or the back of a chair handy. You might need to just put a finger or a hand directly on the wall or that chair. To begin with, we find our mountain pose. The feet are hips distance apart. Again, finding your weight evenly distributed on your feet, not too far forward, back, right, or left. And start to imagine roots growing out of the bottom of your feet and really anchoring you into the earth. Let your tailbone drop down, your heart, your crown lift, shoulders are soft. Mountain pose is the foundation for the next posture we're moving into, tree pose. Now before we jump there, perhaps close your eyes and imagine your favorite tree, if you happen to have a favorite tree. You might imagine a tree that's in your yard, maybe a tree that you pass by on a regular basis, or that you climbed when you were a kid. Or it might be an entirely made-up tree. Noticing what color the tree is, what shape it is. Does it have leaves on it right now? Does it have any flowers on it right now? Any fruit? As we move into our expression of tree pose, keep this vision of the tree in mind, this tree that you've chosen for yourself. We begin to shift all of our weight over into the right foot. As we start to engage that right foot, that right leg down into the earth, the right hip likes to pop out to the side, but draw that back into the midline. Just notice how your core feels stronger as you draw that hip back in. There's still a little tiny micro bend in the knee. The left toes turn out to the side. Now this might be your tree pose, hands coming onto your hips. There's lots and lots of options for tree pose. Maybe you come onto the ball of that left foot. This left knee is trying to open out behind you. Maybe that left heel comes to rest against the right ankle. Balance starts getting a little bit trickier here, so find a drishti, a spot for your eye gaze to rest that's not moving. Maybe you draw that foot up to land against the inner calf, the inner lower leg. Or maybe the foot draws up to come to the inner thigh. Wherever you've landed, either above or below the knee, not directly on the knee, there's this magical connection of the arch of the foot and the kneecap. But the knee does not like to bend that way, so please keep your foot above or below your knee. Standing foot is pressing down. Standing leg presses into that raised foot, and the raised foot presses into the leg. Bent knee is rotating behind you. Hands are either on your hips, up to the sky, finding any expression of tree branches you want to be today. Maybe they're moving branches. Maybe you're more of a conifer with a pointy top. Maybe you have a nice round ball, or maybe you're just all zigzaggy all over the place. We're still breathing in, we're still breathing out. The standing leg might be getting tired. Root in, connect into the earth. Just one more round of breath here. And as you exhale with control, release your branches, release the bent leg. Shift weight into that formerly bent leg and let that standing right leg have a shake, shake, shake. The eyes drift closed as you pause in mountain pose. Try expressing our tree on our second side, and this second side might feel quite different. Sometimes balance is easier on one side than another. Hands can arrive on the hips. Feel really grounded on both feet to begin with. No need to rush. We have lots of time. Eventually, weight will transfer into that left foot. Again, notice how left hip likes to pop out to the side, but we draw that back in to help with our strength. Roots grow out of the bottom of that left foot, anchoring around a boulder deep in the earth. Little micro bend in the knee. Tailbone is reaching towards the earth as the right toes turn out to the side. So this can be your tree pose. Maybe your hand is on a wall or on a chair. Maybe you come on the ball of the right foot. Just as slowly and mindfully as you came into tree pose on the first side, do that on this side. See if you can notice the subtle differences from side to side. The foot might come in so the heel rests against the opposite ankle. Bent knee is still trying to open behind you. Maybe the foot comes to the inside edge of the standing leg or the inside edge of the thigh. Letting the arms, the hands come into any tree expression they would like. Your fingers can be leaves, they might wiggle a little bit in the breeze. Fully breathing in, fully breathing out. The roots connected down into the earth, growing up through your trunk, up through your crown, up into the sky. Reaching up towards the sun, reaching down towards the earth. One more round of breath here. With an exhale, gently release your tree branches. A little wiggle to that standing leg. Eyes drift closed as we find ourselves back in mountain pose one more time. Both feet gently connecting to the earth. Feeling well balanced here. Tailbone reaching down, heart and crown lifting. Shoulders, jaw, eyes, all soft. Deep breath in, reach the arms up towards the sky. As you exhale, let the arms drop down. 2 more. From here, a deep breath in, arms reach up to the sky. As you breathe out, hinge at your hips. We're coming back to that forward fold. So your hands might stay on your thighs. Maybe your hands drop down a little further. 2 times in and out of jackknife. We inhale, halfway up jackknife. Exhale, fold. Inhale, jackknife. This time as you exhale and fold, knees bend nice and deep that we can plant the hands on the floor. We step onto hands and knees, and 3 rounds of our cat and cow here. Inhale, lifts the tail, drops the belly, tugs hard forward, chin turns up. Exhale, tucking tail, rounding spine, chin to chest. Inhale, arching. Exhale, rounding. From there, you're going to drop down onto your forearms, and then just let your feet slide out behind you until you arrive down onto your belly. Maybe your hands create a pillow for your cheek or your forehead. We're taking a deep breath in here. Hold the breath. Sigh it out. One more. Let your feet lengthen a little further behind you. Let the tops of the feet press into the earth. Tailbone reaches towards the heels once again. And now our hands are coming to land underneath our shoulders. The elbows come in towards the side. Tailbone is still reaching towards the heels. Very gently as you inhale, lift your forehead and your chest. Just gentle baby cobra pose here. Very little weight is on the hands. Exhale, lower down. Inhale to lift up into the baby cobra. Exhale, come down. If you're feeling called to move into a larger back bend, by all means, go for it. Just move very mindfully with your breath. We're going to rise into our baby cobra one more time. As you exhale, we're lowering all the way down, hands creating a pillow, or simply arriving down on the cheek. Let the legs have a little wiggle side to side. Maybe even bend the knees and let the feet sway side to side. Feet will land back on the earth. Let your eyes drift closed. Deep breath in. As you sigh this breath out, soften into the support of the earth. The feet softening, legs softening, the belly, the chest, shoulders and arms, the hands. Let even your face soften. As we rest here a few moments, simply practice softening into the support of the earth. Let yourself melt. If you're feeling absolutely content with your position, please stay where you are. Your other option will be to roll onto your back. If you did arrive on your back, let your knees be bent, arms out to the side, a gentle twist from side to side. You can wring out the body. You might wish to move in and out of that full body stretch and knees in towards chest. Eventually settling yourself into a position for relaxation, into our Shavasana posture. Feel free to tug a blanket on. If you're wearing glasses, feel free to take your glasses off. That can sometimes help us relax. And whether you are on your belly or if you're on your back, see if you can wiggle and get a tiny bit more comfortable. Shuffle to the legs, the shoulders, the head. If you're on your back and your lower back feels uncomfortable, bend the knees and let the knees knock in and support one another. And 3 times here, we're drawing a deep breath in through the nose We sigh it out and soften. Breath in. Soften. One more. Let go of your controlled breathing. Trust your body to breathe for you. Trust the earth to hold you. Allow toes, feet, legs, and hips to all soften into that earthly support. The buttocks, the back, the shoulder blades soften. Arms, hands, fingers, sinking into the earth support. Let your face soften, your jaw. Allow yourself to be held. Allow yourself to be held by the earth. your attention back to your body resting here on the earth, to your body being fully supported by the earth. Everything we do is supported by the earth. The food we eat, the water we drink, the actions we take are connected to the earth. Your feet and toes, your hands and fingers find a little wiggle here. Just move yourself into a full body stretch. And draw your knees towards your chest, a little rock side to side. Eventually rolling to one side, pausing in your fetal position. Attention comes to the center of your chest, to your heart center. If you set an intention at the beginning of class, gently remind yourself of what it was. No judgment, simply remembering what your intention was. Draw a breath in, and as you sigh your breath out, release that intention. And return to that intention or that affirmation at any time. We'll slowly press ourselves up to any seated position that's comfortable. Eyes drifting closed. Tailbone rooting you into the earth. Feeling any parts of your body touching the earth. Those spots root you down. Let your breath in lift the rest of your body up into the sky. Almost as if we're suspended, hovering in between these two places of earth and sky. Bring to mind one of your favorite places in nature to be. This might be someplace local, it might be your own backyard, it might be a beach somewhere, a forest trail you once walked, a mountainside retreat. Bring that place to mind in as much detail as you can. From what you saw, what sounds did you hear, what smells were in the air. Was it warm? Was it cool? Was it sunny or cloudy? And how do you feel when you're in that place? Just simply the memory of that place, the fantasy of that place, shift how you feel. Earth is available for us to connect to at any time. We're doing it all the time unconsciously, but we have the choice to consciously connect to the earth. Whether that's visiting a favorite place in nature in our mind's eye, whether it's actually physically going there if we're able. Taking a few minutes out of every day to connect, to mindfully connect with the earth can dramatically impact your day as well as your health and wellness. Perhaps the more we practice connecting to the earth, you'll realize just how interconnected we all are with the earth, the other wildlife, the plants, the water, also with other humans. Perhaps next time you're out in nature, again, whether that's physically in nature or in your imagination, you can offer some gratitude to that place. Sending some thanks into the earth, sending some thanks into the sky. Let your attention come to your heart center. The palms might continue to rest in your lap, or maybe your palms come to rest on that heart center. Perhaps feeling or noticing your own heartbeat here. From my heart to your heart, I wish that you may be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be truly happy and free of suffering. May you love and accept yourself just as you are. May you feel the interconnection of yourself to this earth and all the beings here. From my heart to your heart, I thank you for practicing with me. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I encourage you to drink a glass of water and go and hug a tree. Bye now.